Hello, good morning. Our first issue is Pegasus case and Supreme Court issue. West Bengal government has constituted a panel to probe into the Pegasus case. Pegasus is a spyware. There are allegations that this spyware has been used on various leaders, journalists and activists of India. In this context, West Bengal has formed a judicial probe. But Supreme Court recently has said that as the case is pending with the Supreme Court, that is, as it is under sub judice, West Bengal should keep it aside for some time. Separate probe can wait. Supreme Court will decide on it. That is the argument of Supreme Court. Supreme Court is going to pass a comprehensive order on it. Next issue is government clears 9 names for Supreme Court judges. There is a system for judicial appointments which is known as collegium system. Supreme Court judges are appointed by President of India under Article 124. High Court judges are appointed by President of India under Article 214. In both the cases, collegium needs to recommend the names. Collegium means, as of now, CJI, Supreme Court CJI, and 4 senior-most judges of Supreme Court. This group has to recommend the names. Based on the list of the names given by this group, the government considers these names. Based on the Council of Ministers' advice, President of India appoints these members. Recently, 9 names were recommended by the Supreme Court's collegium, and all the 9 of them were cleared by the government. In this context, Justice B.V. Nagaratna, who is present Karnataka High Court judge, she can become the first women Chief Justice of India based on the seniority. But not now, in a few years down the line. Next issue is Rakesh Asthana's case. He is appointed as Delhi Police Commissioner. This was questioned in the court. What is the issue here? He is Gujarat cadre-based IPS officer. He has tenure of only 1 month. But his tenure has been extended to 1 year, which is known as superannuation. So based on the superannuation, he was appointed as a Delhi Police Commissioner. Now people went to Supreme Court saying that there is a Supreme Court judgment known as Prakash Singh case. Under that particular case, it was said that the CBI director and the police commissioners of various states, they have to have minimum of tenure of 2 years. As this person is not having that, how can the government appoint him? That is first issue. Second issue is, in general, police commissioners are appointed from the same cadre. Now he is appointed from the different cadre. Though that's not a legally viable argument, because others can also be appointed as police commissioner. Other cadre persons also can be appointed. But the primary issue is, one, the person is appointed on superannuation, that too for 1 year time. This issue will be discussed in the court now. Next issue is Bharat Biotech is testing chikungunya vaccine. So it's a multi-country trial. It's testing in Tanzania, it's testing in India, so it's testing in Costa Rica. So there are many countries in which this particular company is testing this vaccine. Phase 2 and Phase 3 clinical trials of chikungunya, the name is BBV87. So this particular vaccine is tested by the International Vaccine Institute, which will be rolled out in the Costa Rica. So this particular Bharat Biotech, this particular vaccine is funded by CEPI, Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, with the support from India CEPI mission. We have Department of Biotechnology, under which financial support is provided to this particular mission. Next issue is escrow account. Recently, in one of the cases, Telangana High Court has asked the government to deposit the money in the escrow account. In this context, we have to know what is this escrow account. Escrow account is the third party account where the funds are placed for a temporary purpose, and this will be transferred to the ultimate party after the conflict or after the settlement. Such intermediary account is known as escrow account. Next issue is pending cases against the elected leaders. So we have this famous term known as criminalization of politics, criminal elements entering into the politics. In this context, Supreme Court has earlier said that cases against sitting MLAs and MPs, criminal cases against them, needs to be expedited. Clean politics is needed for democracy. In this context, Supreme Court recently has said that the probe agencies such as CBI, ED, they are also facing dearth of manpower and infrastructure. So judiciary is also facing such thing, and the investigating agencies are also facing such issues. In this context, these needs to be addressed. Both are overburdened already. Now, that's why there is a delay. That is the justification here. That's why there is a delay. 51 sitting MPs and 71 MLAs were accused of offences under Prevention of Money Laundering Act. And then under various criminal provisions, many MPs and MLAs are accused of. In this context, quick disposal of the cases is necessary. Next issue is e-visas or electronic visas for Afghans. Hundreds of Afghans, thousands of them are moving to various countries including India. In this context, earlier India has given the visas. Now India says that these visas are not valid. Only the new ones, which are e-visas, these will be valid because these are refugees now. We have to handle the burden of it. That's why government has cancelled the previous visas. And whatever visas are given now under e-visa scheme, they are only applicable. Next issue is AY.12 in India. It's a new Delta variant. Our Indian SARS-CoV-2 consortium of genomics, this particular INS-ACOG, it has reported that there is micro-lineage of Delta variant. This is causing surge of cases in Israel. The same variant is found in India too. That means this is a sub-lineage of the Delta variant which can turn as a bigger one, which can turn into a cause for the third wave. That's why India should be very careful. Regular genomic survey should be conducted. Testing, treating, tracing, these needs to be done. And immunization, active immunization is the way forward. Next issue is internet safety. In this digital era, internet safety is very important. In this context, Google and Amar Chitrakatha. Amar Chitrakatha is a storybook publisher, cartoon book publisher. These two have come together. There are many online threats. To deal with them, Google has launched one, Google Safety Center. Two, it is introducing Global Kid Safety Program. Under Google Safety Center, this updated Google Safety Center program, it is training the people on digital safety, covering important topics like data security, privacy control, online protection, etc. Under Global Kid Safety Program, Google has launched Be Internet Awesome. Under this program, comic characters of Amar Chitrakatha are used to generate awareness among the children with regard to internet safety. Next issue is Fukushima nuclear water. In the year 2011, due to high intensity earthquake in the Pacific region, a huge scale tsunami has hit the Japanese coastal region. In this context, Fukushima nuclear reactor got damaged. This damaged nuclear reactor and the nuclear waste as a result needs to be cleared. So recently, the government has proposed that by 2021, they want to discharge the wastewater. But where to discharge? Because that's a radioactive material, and even in the water, that radioactive material accumulates. So where to discharge? If they discharge it to the sea, fishermen gets affected. So what to do? That's why this particular Fukushima nuclear reactor power plant operator, they said that they are going to build a massive undersea tunnel. Through this undersea tunnel, they are going to send the treated radioactive water. This will lessens the dilution, and this will be under the specific guidelines and regulations only. This won't affect the fishermen and others in the coastal region. That's how it is planning to reduce the nuclear waste. Next issue is Cabinet cleared 15,000 crore FDI proposal. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, it has cleared FDI proposal of investment of this company known as Anchorage Infrastructure Investment Holding. This company now will be investing in various infrastructural projects in India, including Bangalore airport, etc. This, according to the government, helps in national monetization pipeline. Yesterday, it has proposed for national monetization pipeline of 6 lakh crore rupees, and such FDI in infrastructural projects, it helps in achieving this particular target. Next issue is Industry 4.0. From here, editorials starts. So, Industry 4.0 as a term is also known as Fourth Industrial Revolution. This was coined by German government in 2011. It uses various technologies such as 3D printing, which is known as additive manufacturing, Internet of Things, cyber physical systems, also known as IoT, augmented reality, virtual reality, data analytics, artificial intelligence. These are some of the constellation of technologies that are used in Industry 4.0. In this context, in India, we have opportunity in terms of MSMEs. MSMEs, they contribute largely to India's economic exports and employment. Industry 4.0, it requires a lot of investment. That's why MSMEs needs to gear up for this challenge. Otherwise, only big companies are going to dominate in this era of Industry 4.0. Next issue is income and quotas. Recently, Supreme Court in Haryana reservations case has said that creamy layer as a criteria. For that, it need not be the income criteria alone. Other things can also be considered. Let's say the community's representation in the government jobs, population, etc. Economic criterion need not be the sole basis for identifying these sections of backward communities. In Indira Sahni case 1992, creamy layer provision should be there. In this particular case, Supreme Court has upheld the OBC reservations, but it said that there should be a limit. That's why it has proposed for creamy layer. Now, it says that creamy layer need not be based on the economic criteria alone. This is important. This is significant in the reservation governance in India. Next issue is global climate policy. Per capita emissions needs to be reduced. That is important because population in various countries differs. Let's say USA's population, India's population, China's population, we all are different. So if we just calculate the cumulative emissions, it might be different. So per capita emissions needs to be calculated, they needs to be reduced. Recently, IPCC in its 6th assessment report has said that achieving net zero is important, but that is not enough. We need to reduce the cumulative emissions, and the global policy should focus on current emissions and past emissions too. Current emissions and past emissions both are important. Past emissions, we call them as historical emissions. Historically, those countries who have contributed to the emissions, they should take the responsibility. Now, current emissions also needs to be taken care of. Both the things needs to be balanced. Next issue is Afghanistan and India's outreach. India, as of now, is not opposing Taliban, or it's not explicitly supporting Taliban too. But we know how Talibans are operating, how they are violating human rights. So this article proposes for lesser engagement with Taliban, and Afghanistani people are the important stakeholders. That's the argument here. Final issue is technology and social justice. Supreme Court, in case of COVID vaccination, has mentioned that CoWIN portal is used for vaccine delivery. But then there are major impediments. What are they? Inadequate judicial literacy across the country, inadequate digital penetration, serious issues of bandwidth connectivity, especially in the remote regions. So that's why after that government has said that it is not mandatory to register in CoWIN to get the vaccination. Now, Supreme Court itself has introduced e-courts system. This system is to enable the online filing. This is meant to increase the efficiency, transparency in the justice delivery system. But here also technology, same issues are there. Digital literacy issues are there, digital penetration issues are there, issues of bandwidth are there. These needs to be addressed. Inadequate training of manpower is there, so we need adequate training of manpower, and tailor-made systems to in different contexts is needed. And mindset change, very very important. It's the mind that should change. Even after having all the technologies and literacy, if we are not accepting the change, it is not going to give the desired result. So mindset change is the ultimate solution. over here. These are the articles for today. Thank you very much. All the very best.